Greetings, fellow action figure connoisseurs, and welcome to another episode of Digital Caveman Presents Marvel Monday. I, as always, am your host, the Digital Caveman, and today I will be presenting you with the Marvel Legends series Iron Man Retro Carded Count Nefaria. Let's get into it! Let's begin with a look at the packaging, and there we have my favorite design for the Marvel Comics logo, and then we have 4 and up assortment numbers. Warning, don't stick things in your pie hole that do not belong there. Nice animated style artwork of Iron Man in the modular armor. Iron Man, Count Nefaria. Nice big blister showcasing the figure and his accessories, and then Hasbro print down there hiding in the corner. Then on the back, we have that great Marvel Comics logo, Iron Man, Marvel, Count Nefaria. A wealthy nobleman and leader of an international crime family, Count Nefaria launches attacks aimed to take down Iron Man and the Avengers. And then there we have some nice animated style artwork of Count Nefaria. And then here we have nice line drawing art of Count Nefaria showing you can swap his hands out. Recycled print, Hasbro print. Attention! Especially don't stick things in your French pie hole that do not belong there. Warning, attention, Octoon, don't stick things in any other language pie hole that don't belong there. Don't give it to babies. Small print, fine print, legalese print, main China print, symbols I'm not going to learn, and a barcode. That, my friends, completes our look at the packaging. Let's take a look at the figure and his accessories. And here we have handy dandy tweezers to help us take a look at his accessories. And they are an extra set of hands. And one like reaching out, splayed, open hand, I guess. What you would call that. Molded in white plastic and on an in and out hinge. And then the other hand, I like to call this one like the rule the world hand, and again molded in white plastic and in and out hinge. Nice molded details, and I'm sure we've seen this hand before, probably lots of times, and that's fine. They work for this figure. Now let's take a look at the figure himself, and I have to say, what a fantastic head sculpt and a mostly great deco job on it. You can see where they didn't quite get all the beard colored in, or the goatee, whatever you want to call it. So, you know, that's a little disappointing, but otherwise, fantastic deco. The eyes, the eyebrows, around the eyes, around the nose, and around the goatee. And you can maybe kind of see some of that where they printed the deco on there. Here, the stripes in the hair as well. And nice sculpt for the hair too. So overall, I think this is a very nice looking version of the Count. Now, the cape. Big plastic cape, and of course it's in one kind of standing there looking superior pose, and it does have a peg, and it just pegs into his back here. And you'll notice, of course, the rope piece of the cape is a separate piece, and that does hinder this figure a little bit, not in range of movement or anything, but just in aesthetics, because I can rarely get the cape lined up properly all the way around with the cape, or the rope and the cape. I can't get them lined up properly all the time, and you just have to work at it a little bit, and you can get it. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off so we can take a look at his articulation without the cape hindering it up any. And we'll go ahead and look at the rest of the sculpt too. I mean, he's got some nice paint apps here. You can see it's a little bit of a mess up right here, some slop, or maybe it got skint. I'm not sure if it's printed or molded in the white plastic or the black plastic. It seems like it would probably be molded in the black plastic since there's more of it showing, but I don't know. I'm not a toy expert. And there you can see the lines of the uniform, especially right here, are not super crisp. The back is a little bit better, but not 100%. So I'm going to say this white is probably most likely the paint app. And on the belt here, he's got some paint apps. It's probably molded in this red plastic, and then the black, and then whatever color this is. I'm going to call it yellow, but I'm colorblind, so don't make fun of handicapped people. It's got the standard ab hinge, pinless elbows and knees. Looks like a bit of a paint app here on the front of the leg and around the boot as well. And a boot cut right there at the mid shin, or the upper mid shin maybe. And he does have butterflies in the shoulders. Well, let's take a look at his articulation, and I do believe this is the Vulcan body, but I'm not going to swear to that anymore. You know, it's hard to tell a lot of times these days what piece is what from where and who had it first. So, but anyway, he can look up that high. He can look down that low. It's on a hinge and ball, the head is. And then, so he's got some chicken neck in there. He's got some waggle. He can do the full exorcist. Butterfly joint in the shoulder. Goes back that far and goes forward that far. So, pretty decent range of motion. I won't say it's great, but it's decent. 360 degrees of rotation there at the shoulder. And he can raise his arm up pretty good bit past 90. Cut here at the upper bicep for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless elbow, like I mentioned before, gives you that much bend. And then at the glove, nothing. 360 degrees of rotation at the wrist on an in and out hinge, and in and out hinge on the other side as well. Standard Marvel Legends ab hinge allows him to lean back that far, lean forward that far. There is a straight cut at the waist for 360 degree rotation, and you'll notice the belt is sitting just right on top of that, so it covers up that this is, you know, pretty kind of short hip piece. But there it is. You can move it down some if you like. I like it sitting right there because, one, it doesn't move around a lot when you articulate the figure at the waist, and so it doesn't get in the way that way, and it makes the waist look a little bit higher. So at the hips, he can give you that much of the splits. He can kick forward pretty well below 90, and then back about a half a step. Cut here at the upper thigh for a full 360 degrees of rotation. Double hinged pinless knee, and it does give you that much bend, so that's pretty good. And as I mentioned before, there at the mid shin, there is a boot cut for another 360 degrees of rotation. At the ankle, tilts down that far, tilts up that far, and forward facing pin for rocker. Now, as far as the cape goes, again, there's a post in it, and I want to say, I don't know which color this is molded in. It could be molded in either one of these colors, and then a paint app, either on the inside or the outside. I'm going to say red. Yeah, it looks like red. It's molded in red. And then you can see at the bottom here, there's some paint slop going on. So it still could go either way, but I'm going to call it as red, molded in red and yellow paint app. At least, again, it looks yellow to me. So don't make fun of handicapped people. And then right here in the back, there's the port, and you just line the peg up and then try to line it up with the rope. And again, it doesn't always do that. I may put a little tab of glue on that or something just to kind of hold it in place where I want it. Not on the figure, on the cape. Well, there we have it, my friends. A look at the figure and his accessories. It's time for my favorite part of a review, comparisons. And here we have the Marvel Legends series Iron Man retro carded Count Nefaria with the 2020 Hasbro Pulse exclusive Marvel Legends series Hydra Trooper and 2021's Marvel Legends series Zemnu Build-A-Figure Waves AIM Scientist Supreme. For our final set of comparisons, here we have the Marvel Legends series Iron Man retro carded Count Nefaria with our final Marvel Legends series comparison, making his cameo appearance, Stan the Man Lee from G.I. Joe Classified series, the Hasbro Pulse exclusive Regal variant Cobra Commander from Star Wars The Black series, the Archive Edition 501st Legion Clone Trooper, and for a 7-inch scale comparison from the Masters of the Universe Masterverse line, the 40th Anniversary He-Man. For final thoughts on the Marvel Legends series Iron Man retro carded Count Nefaria, I have to say I only ever remember him using this costume once, which was in 2, 3, maybe 4 issues of the Avengers, where he had these scientists working for him, giving him superpowers using this crazy machine, and then he went and beat the crap out of the Avengers, and the powers ended up killing him, I think. I can't remember. It's been a little bit since I finished that book. And, you know, I have to say, it is a nice look for the character. And I want to say it's his only true, like, really super villainy look that at least I can remember. Usually, you know, he appears wearing a suit and a monocle and, you know. But this time he had superpowers, and they took their toll on him. And that's how the Avengers ended up defeating him. He kind of defeated himself, because he unalived the scientists that built the machine, but the head scientist built in a limitation to the powers that once he got them, they would take their toll on his body if he didn't re-energize himself. But when he destroyed when he unalived the scientists, he also destroyed the machine. So he kind of did it to himself. At least that's what I remember. I could be a little mistaken on some of the details there. But again, this is the only time I ever remember him having like that real super villain type look, and I think it's a good look for the character and for probably his only Marvel Legends appearance, at least thus far. They may do the suited monocle version eventually. I mean, we do have a suited body that would be appropriate. So I guess that's all I can really say about that point. As far as the articulation on this one, I think it's pretty good. The Vulcan mold was a nice choice for this. It's, you know, sized appropriately for the character, and it has really good articulation for the most part. Or not necessarily articulation, but range of motion for the most part. The decos on this, some of them on the uniform are not as crisp as they could be, but what they did on the face for the most part is really, really excellent. They missed a couple of spots on his goatee, and you know, from a distance you can't really tell. When you get up close and look, yes, you can see where they missed the mark and didn't get it all the way on the mold. But at least it didn't go over the mold and make some paint slop. So there's always that. Now I think this guy is, if you're an Avengers and Iron Man fan, then I do believe this one is a good one to add to your collection, even though it may have only appeared in a handful of issues. It was probably the character's biggest and most prominent appearance. You know, a lot of times he's just running things from the back room and doesn't really get his hands dirty a whole lot that I remember. Again, that could just be my mind playing tricks on me and remembering things the way I would like to. But so overall, I have to say this is a good addition, especially again if you're an Iron Man or Avengers focused collector. Then definitely it's a pickup. Could it have been a little better? Yeah, it could have been a little better, but the issues with it are really kind of minor. Except for the cape. The cape is a pretty major issue, but I don't think we're ever going to get soft goods wired capes from Hasbro. It's just, I don't think it's in the works. Well, that does it for the review. I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed making it. Only support from viewers like you make this programming possible. Each view does count, and I do appreciate each and every single view that I receive. Thank you, and thank you so very, very much for supporting this channel through viewing. If you are interested in supporting my channel further, I'm now offering memberships at various tiers. Click the join button on my YouTube page, or check this video's description for the link and see if any membership offers are right for you, but only if you are in a position to do so. Comment below, like, share, subscribe if you would like to see more content, or just help the channel grow, or both, that's even better. And don't forget to ding that bell so that in the future you will be notified as my new content becomes available. That's a wrap, folks. I'll see you next time.